Kaway-kaway sa mga NBA fans dyan. Nandito tayo ngayon sa St. Regis Hotel dito sa Abu Dhabi dahil may mai-interview tayong mga NBA Legends. Ito sina Shawn Marion, Gary Payton at Team Hardaway Sr. Kaya tara, panoorin natin ang naging interview ko kasama nila. So we have your questions from your Filipino fans. So the first one is, you have a very unique shooting style. Was it something that you intentionally created, and was there ever a time that you tried changing it?
No, I think nobody shoots the same, and no, never need to change it. If it works, don't break it.
Awesome. And you're known for your versatility on the court. So how did you develop that kind of versatility and well-roundedness in terms of being a player?
I think it was more predicated on me competing. I think I think it's part of just like I love competing in competition, and I think you develop a defensive mechanism when you want to react and be the aggressor versus being being aggressed. So I'm just like, man, I'm just like I don't like to be embarrassed or showed out. So I'm coming to compete. So that's what it is, I think, and I just had natural instincts that I was able to do a versatile things, and it works out very well.
You've experienced teaching a lot of Filipino kids when you visited the Philippines,
Yes.
Albay. So how does it feel to be teaching kids? And what's your message to all the Filipino athletes who would like to be basketball players just like you?
I think it's awesome that I'm able to just give anything to kids, period. I have a son, so it's just you want to be able to pass what you've learned down to anybody. But I think the biggest thing for any kids right now who have aspirations to be an NBA player, I mean, you have to put the work in. You have to sacrifice. But like, you don't know when it will happen. But you really have to stay focused and dedicated. It's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work, a lot of hours in the gym. A lot of days you can't be playing the video games and be playing with your friends. You gotta go and you gotta get to the grind. It's tough. It's not easy.
So it comes with intentionality to be that player.
Oh, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta put a lot of work in.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with us. You have a lot of Filipino fans. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're considered the most defensive player in the NBA history. So how did you come up with that strategy? Was it like an intention for you to be defensive? Did you ever think that you'll be the most defensive player in the history?
Never thought that. Never thought that. You know what? When I went to college, I was an offensive-minded player. I just played for a coach in Ralph Miller that made me become a defensive player. And once I started playing it, it was fun. It was real fun, and I got a talent at it. If you get a talent and then you just, wow, it just comes out and you just say, okay, I'm good at it, you take advantage of it. And that's all I did.
So who are some of the players that you consider most difficult to defend against?
Only one to me, and it's John Stockton. That's only the hardest person I ever had to guard. Because of 94 feet, I had to guard him at all times. He never gave me a break. And when people don't give you a break, they understand that you can't let this guy focus on you and stop you. And he just kept moving and doing things. And he was the most difficult one. Most players, they'll just take a little time off and then they'll go to a spot and then you could go there and prevent him. He was always running around. And that was just really, really difficult for me.
What's your advice to all the young athletes who are aspiring basketball players, especially the Filipino athletes?
You know what? I always tell young players that we have to always think about our mentality of respect, work hard, but I always tell them, and I'll be honest, every kid is not going to go to the NBA or the WNBA or whatever. So we always have to have a backup plan to get education, think about something else. You could be successful being a doctor or lawyer or anything. And you can be on this stage right now talking about your profession and be the best at your profession. It doesn't matter. I just want you to grow up to be that best person you can be. And that's all I tell kids. Don't always worry about if you don't become a basketball player or anything. Just always think, I can always become somebody special.
And you've mentioned that you love the Philippines. So can you share a message to all the Filipino viewers who will be watching this video?
All the Filipino fans, please, I'm coming right back. I'm coming back.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're known for your U-step, two-step move. So how did you come up with it?
You know what? I've been dribbling all my life, and I'm in the basement when I was, in high school. I used to go down in the basement and just dribble, dribble, dribble. And I think it just came when I was playing working out in the basement. And nobody ever realized it until I got to the NBA. In college, they told me I had something, but I didn't know. I'm just playing basketball, having fun, trying to win games. But, it comes from just practicing and dribbling for hours.
What's your advice to the young athletes who would also like to have that sort of trademark?
You got to practice. You got to dribble up and down. Say you're not doing nothing for 2 hours. You go outside and just dribble. Just dribble, dribble, dribble. Just dribble around. Pretend that somebody's in your way. In and out move, crossover move, between the legs move, behind the back spin moves. But it's about practicing. When you idle, do something. And that'll make you better.
You've given us a few tips. So speaking of tips, what's your advice to young Filipino athletes who would also want to become an NBA player?
Well, I would tell them, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Go out there and let the game happen for you. But you got to practice. You got to put in the work. All right? That means 100 or 200 free throws every day. You got to make 100, 200 layups. You got to shoot, make layups. You got to, shoot 500 jump shots a day. You got to dribble. You got to go out there and do game moves when you're out there in game situations. So it's a lot you got to put into it, but it's fun. But don't put so much pressure on yourself. Go out there and have fun and enjoy it. And I think that's what a lot of these kids are missing. They want it, and they putting too much pressure on themselves instead of going out there and enjoying the game of basketball.
So practice, but still have fun.
But still, you got to have fun.
Yeah. And of course, you've been to the Philippines. You love your Filipino fans. So what's
yes.
your message to all the Filipinos out there who's going to watch this video?
I love the Filipino fans. I love being in the Philippines. Keep up the good work. Keep having fun. Keep understanding that you all are ahead of the game. And I love to come see you all play because y'all play with a passion. They play with a passion. And keep it up. And I can't wait to see you next time so I have some fun with you all again.
The Filipino fans love you. Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Oh, thank you. And I love the Filipino fans too. And I love to come to the Philippines.
See you in the Philippines then.
Yes, I'll see you very soon.